Welcome back to the couch again, guys. So on this episode, I want to cover the ways to transport your kayak. I've pretty much done them all, so stay tuned. So the ways to transport your kayak. Well, you can throw it on the roof of your car. You can throw it on the roof of your truck. You can put it in the bed of your truck with a bed extender, or if you have a long enough bed, you don't need a bed extender. You can trailer it. You can trailer it on different boat trailers. They have, there's brands out there now specifically for kayaks. You can throw it on a utility trailer, which I've done. And now I have a ladder rack and the Will-I loader from Burley Pro, which I have a video on that. So I've been through them all. When I first started kayak fishing, I've been in the bed of the truck and I had a bed extender. Nothing wrong with that, very simple. Then I've always had short bed trucks, so I kind of wanted to get something a little different. And going on the road more, I ended up going to an enclosed trailer to have an enclosure, so it kept the kayak locked up and out of sight. And I could also use the enclosed trailer for if I got wet, and I could just enclose that, shut the door, change, and use that. And you could also put a porta potty on it, which I've done that before too. Is that my favorite way to transport a kayak? I think so, just for the simple facts that it's out of sight, and you can use that trailer, that enclosed trailer, for multiple purposes: changing your clothes, using the bathroom, storing all your gear in there, one shot, your fishing poles and everything is out of sight. Now your open trailer concept, or your trailer for the kayak in particularly, on the water innovations makes the trailers now, and you can get the rod tubes, you can get the rod enclosures, and you can lock your kayak to it and all that stuff, and it's just easy to unload. When I had the enclosed trailer, all I did was I just slid it out, and I had the boondocks laying the gear on it, and I had a ramp style trailer, so I just slid it out, put the wheels on it, and rolled it the rest of the way out and went down to the ramp. Then I think I went to, pulling the enclosed trailer may be my favorite way of doing it, but yes, I had a big trailer, so the gas mileage was pretty bad. Did that bother me then? Not really. Now with the gas prices, it would probably be a little tough. It'd just be a very expensive trip. So I got rid of the enclosed trailer. So I started out with the bed extender. I went to the enclosed trailer. Then I went back to the bed of a truck because I changed trucks. Then I went to an utility trailer, and then I went to the ladder rack with the Will-I loader. So that's really your options of how to carry a kayak. They all have their pros and cons. The pro, like I said, with the enclosed trailer, that everything's out of sight, out of mind. You can use it for different purposes. The utility trailer, or the trailer specifically designed for a kayak, is a great idea. The ones designed with the bunks, you can slide it right into the water. That's a pro, instead of wheeling it down. But once you get the wheels on it, it's really not a big deal. Especially with the boondocks, they're on the kayak, easy to take on and off, and you just come back up and utilize those wheels. That's a great way to. That's kind of how I do it now. I just slide it off with the Will-I loader and have my wheels on it and take it down. To me, that's more of a pro than having a trailer, just because boat ramps can get very busy, and some of the people at the boat ramps really are not considerate or have common sense. I don't want to say that, or on video, but I'm going to have to. And you can get into an argument on boat ramps. A lot of people don't respect us as kayakers. They say, "Oh, it's just a kayak," Most of the time on freshwater, I've had no problems. But when I've gotten into saltwater, I've had some arguments in the past with people that think that they have the right of way over me. And I'm a truck with a trailer, no different than yours. It's just a different way of how the kayak's on that trailer. It's still a boat. It's still a vessel. I still have the right to go in line right after the next person. I'm not even gonna get into that story. That does have your advantage, but to me, that's a disadvantage, just because you got to wait in line sometimes. Now she goes super early, which I'm always early, so I never really had to worry about that. But coming back off the water, when you only have like 2 lanes and you got like 6, 7 boats, you're out there waiting. Right now, all I do is I just go right up to the bank off to the side, you know, a little bit off to the side of the ramp, or I can squeeze by a boat right onto the same concrete, you know, landing, and just put my wheels in and roll up, you know, next to them. I'm not interfering with them or getting in their way. So that's, to me, that's my biggest advantage of how I'm taking my kayak now. You know, I don't have the option of keeping a trailer at my house anymore. I guess if I got a small enough trailer, I could, but I don't want to, you know, lose my shop. So that's where I'm at right now to transport my kayak. But I did order a truck with an 8-foot bed. Now, unfortunately, to get an 8-foot bed anymore, you have to go in HD. You know, I really would still prefer a 1500 series of a truck, just for the simple fact it's cheaper on gas and it's usually a softer ride. But I end up ordering a 8-foot bed, and I'm gonna still put the rack on the new truck, and I'm still gonna keep the wheel eye loader, but I'm probably gonna go back to putting the kayak in the bed of my truck. I probably, even though with my truck, you know, with my toolbox on there, I probably don't need a bed extender, but I may get one just for the simple support. Once I get the truck and I get the box in it, I'll figure out if I need a bed extender. If I don't, I don't. But really, that's your options of how to transport your kayak. Now, roof-topping, you know, the bigger fishing kayaks like I have now, or that a lot of us use that watch these videos, or, you know, or subscribers, we know it's hard to rooftop those. I mean, you just have to break everything down and then put it on top, either flat or upright, and get the cradles or whatever. So me, rooftopping is probably the hardest way, just for the simple fact that you got to try to get it up there and you got to break it down. My favorite way, like I said, it would probably be the enclosed trailer, but that's not usually feasible for most people, and a lot of people wouldn't do it that way. So to me, the most simplified way is either a rack with the wheel eye loader, which, you know, it's not cheap, but it's not expensive, or just in the bed of your truck. I mean, that's your most simplest way. Some people are always worried about protecting their kayak. If you're worried about protecting your kayak, you know, in the bed of your truck, just, you know, get a piece of carpet, you know, just throw it down there as just a little bit of a smoother thing so you don't get scratches on it. My kayak's all scratched up underneath, so I'm not really even worried about it anymore. I kind of lost that on my second time around, you know, worry about protecting it and keeping it all, you know, nice and, you know, beat and fragile with it. They're kayaks. They can take a pretty serious beat before you'd really ruin it. So, but if you're worried about, you know, protecting your kayak, just throw a piece of carpet in the bed of your truck. But I think that's the most easiest, and obviously it's the cheapest way, because all you may have to do is buy a bed extender. And they make cheap bed extenders out there, and they make the, you know, nicer bed extenders that are aluminum, and they cost a couple $100. You can get they used to be like $50. They're probably a little bit more now because everything costs more, but you're probably still going to spend at least $60, $75 on an inexpensive bed extender. But me, I would spend the money on the Boondocks one, or any of those that are aluminum, because they're lightweight. You know, they're most time one piece, and, you know, they can still be adjusted, but, you know, to me, they're nice and light, and they're just, you know, the Boondocks one is kind of rounded, so you're not dragging on the ground. The inexpensive ones, you know, kind of go straight into your, you know, your receiver of your truck, and you can bottom out when you're trying to go through. So the Boondocks gives you a little bit more clearing on that. That's really the ways of transporting your kayak. I mean, I don't know if there's any other ways besides rooftop, truck bed, trailer, or on a ladder rack. I mean, should be pretty much about it. Now, if there's something out there I don't know about, but, you know, that's your ways of transporting the kayak. Your bed of your truck's your cheapest way. If you don't have a truck and you have to rooftop it, you know, they make pretty, you know, decent racks to go across with cradles or whatnot to hold your kayak. You know, so, but that's still probably more than, you know, if you have the bed of a truck. But, you know, some people don't have pickup trucks, so you have to rooftop it. You can get a small boat trailer if you have a car, you know, that you can get like a, you know, like 1 7/8 ball with a, you know, maybe an 1 1/4 receiver on a car. You can put those on. I've seen people tow pretty big trailers that they probably shouldn't be with cars. So you can get a trailer if you have a car. You know, they have, and the boat trailers for a small little kayak trailer, I've had those before too. I've had a small little trailer, I've had utility trailers, I've had enclosed trailers. So the little boat trailer, I think I paid about $1,200 for it. So I think it wasn't aluminum, it was galvanized. And that would cost me about $1,200, but you could tow that easily with a car. You know, and it would make it a lot easier for you. You can put some PVC bunks on there, you can slide it right into the water, even with a car. You just gotta watch on the ramps, because if it's, you know, it's slippery or has a little bit of slime on it, you could actually just slide right into the water. So you got to watch, you know, unloading your kayak with a trailer with a car into the water, depending on the boat ramp where you're at. You know, if it's a little bit of a dirt path, you're going to be fine. You know, people are always wondering about ways of transporting your kayak. That's pretty much about it. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, just shoot me a comment and I'll answer it. You know, if you have any questions, I do have a video of how I set my utility trailer up, the last utility trailer I had for the kayak. Yes, I've gone through quite a few trailers. But I do have a video on here that shows you, I'll actually put it up here at the end of the video here, the trailer setup I just recently did before I went to the Will-I loader. So I'll put both those videos up here. You guys can go check them out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the water.